Facebook fam, what's good? It's your boy Coach White, Walk White, aka Mr. Modified. Chilling out, and I want to talk about intermittent fasting. So today, I did a lot of research, a lot of research, and if you don't know, the 23rd of this month, I'm starting Insanity, one of the hardest programs that I keep talking to people about, but I'm committed. Got the okay and the clear from the doctor to start the 23rd, but I have to listen to my body. And while I do this, what's up, Misty? While I do this hit high intensity interval training, right, Insanity, I'm going to do intermittent fasting. So this week, starting tomorrow, I'm going to start prepping myself for the week of the 23rd. Doing all right, Misty. I haven't been live in a couple of days, so, I do this to hold myself accountable. It's also therapeutic for myself, but I just want to come out here and get people's ideas and suggestions about intermittent fasting. Misty, have you ever done intermittent fasting? I'm going to try it. I'm going to start off next week because it's something you have to build up to. You can't just go dive headfirst into it. I stopped eating tonight. I had my last meal at 6:30. So 6:30 to 6:30 will be 12 hours. And then, let's see, 12. I'm going to try to go 14 to 16 hours before I have my first meal. My first meal is going to be a fully loaded shake. I'm going to have 2 servings of oatmeal. I'm loving the apple cinnamon chocolate. So I'm going to throw 2 apples in there, some cinnamon in there, some almond milk. And I got to throw my kale in there because I got to get my veggies in. So I'll have that anywhere between, let's see, 6:30, well, let's say 7 to 7 is 12 hours, 8, 9 will be 14 hours. So anywhere between 9 and 11 in the morning, I'll have my first meal. Now, my goal is to build up so I have 2 meals a day. That's it, 2 meals. And I do a lot of YouTube and self-education, a lot of YouTube videos, and a lot of research on the internet, Googling and, Yahoo. And one thing that I found fascinating was, the invention of the refrigerator is what really messed up human beings. Because before we had a way to store our food for ample amount of time, we used to eat when we were hungry. And over time, we've got this idea of having 3 to 6 meals a day. So you wake up, you have breakfast, then you have a snack, then you have lunch, then you have a snack, then you have dinner, then you have a snack, depending on the type of diet you're on. Now, if you Google diets, you're going to find umpteen million, trillion, gazillion diets to try. And my idea is it's not the diet, it's the food that we're putting in our bodies. Now, if you think of your body as a temple, right? You want to put the best food in your body. So I'm going to go with this intermittent fasting, and I'm going to build up, like I said, till the 23rd, and then I'm going to hit it hard for 2 months. And I'm going to see how it works, because I'm seeing so many transformation and success stories about intermittent fasting. But I also looked up, things people misconstrued and they twist in their head. And one thing I noticed is a lot of people, they watch the time. And they're like, oh, I can't eat for 16 hours. And then they're watching the time. So I'm not going to stay focused on the time. If my body says I'm hungry, I'm going to have a little light snack. And that's why I got to build up to this 16-hour window. So I'll have a meal. Let's say if I stop eating at 7 every night, 7 to 7 is 12 hours. And then if I build up to 11, that'd be 16 hours. I have a meal at 11. I'll have my fully loaded shake, and that will hold me over until about, 4 or 5 o'clock. And then I'll have my dinner between 5:30 and 6, and then nothing will be eaten by 7. So that's my goal for this week. We'll see how it goes. The first few days, people say, you start the diet, when you start this intermittent fasting, and you have this, gun-ho attitude where you're committed, and you're going to do it, and you're going to stick with it. And then after the first 2 days, 3 days, you start getting the headaches and you start getting moody because your body is starting to switch, it makes that switch. Now, I was also looking into a lot of the chemicals the body releases. I'm going to do some more research on this tomorrow. One thing I've always been fascinated about was the dopamine, how the body releases dopamine. Now, a lot of people do cocaine because it releases dopamine. And it's a natural chemical in your body, but you do drugs to help it release, you throw it off. So my idea is to get my dopamine back to where, you know, it's released after doing something productive. You sit down, you do a task, you get the task done, you release dopamine. It's that good feeling that goes through your body. So that, and I don't know, I need a change. So it's time to do something different. Um, I've noticed well, let me go back. The last couple of days I've been doing a 10-minute trainer, and then yesterday I did double time, and I really broke a sweat, so it felt good. I'm listening to my back. But, you know, nutrition is more than half the battle. In my book, it's about 85 to 90% of the battle. Now, if I do this intermittent fasting, and I do insanity, and I get the results that I want, deserve, and need, I can refer it to my clients. And then with experience. One thing I always do is I talk through experience, real life events that I personally experienced. So if it works for me, I'm not saying it's going to work for everybody. I'm not even going to say it's going to work for me. It might not work for me. But if it does work for me, then I can recommend it to other people, and then they can try it and they can do it for themselves. But like I said, I'm going to start off next week because I have one more week before the 23rd. And then the 23rd, it's waking up at 4:30 in the morning, push and play at 5 in the morning, getting this anywhere from, I think the shortest workout might be 35 minutes to an hour, maybe a little bit longer. But I got to get them in early in the morning. I got to get back on this routine where I wake up early in the morning, bang out my workout. And I'm not a morning person. I'll be the first to admit it. And when you're not a morning person, it's not easy to get out of bed. But when you get out of bed and you get what you need done, that feeling of accomplishment is where I'm going to strive. So with that being said, we'll keep it short. I think it's short anyway, 7 minutes. It is what it is. Your boy, Coach White. If you got any suggestions on intermittent fasting or any comments or anything that I should know, drop me a comment. And feel free to share and like this what you want. If not, hey, give me a thumbs down if you could, but you can't do that on Facebook. When this goes on YouTube, you can, because that's where this is going right after I get off of here. That, and the last thing I'll leave you with is, you know, daily action steps compounded over time. You put in the positive daily action steps, you get positive results. You put in negative daily action steps, you get negative results. If you put in nothing, that's what you're going to get back. Absolutely nothing. So I'm going to win the day. I wrote out my daily flow chart for tomorrow. I'm ready to crush tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to these next few weeks. With that being said, it's your boy, Coach White. Peace.